a message for my people.
Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep, sticking it to him. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it.
In hand, just understand my
Pockets that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do, and they can't compete, and I got nothing to lose.
Good, everybody.
Back in the studio. Veterans Minimum, #1 sports betting vibe on the internet. Your handsome hosts, George Carmona to my left. At Nick Dais 10 is where you can find me. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. George, it's nice to be in the lights.
Yeah, dude, you dipset head to toe. You scared me in the parking garage, man. We never really crossed paths in the parking garage, but today you said you saw my car, you waited for me at the entrance, and I was talk about I was not expecting to see you. You scared me. It's like I need to pick my awareness up in parking garages. Not saying that anybody's going to fuck with me, but if you're not careful in a parking garage, bro, catch people. People get caught slipping.
Hey,
I don't want to be one of those people.
hey, head on a swivel. Gotta be aware of your surroundings, bro.
I do.
Gotta
Thank
be
God you were wearing red. If you were wearing, the tan color of the Wynn parking garage, I would have got.
Also, the hat, not to be confused with a MAGA hat. I got that a lot. Also, shout out Dipset. Got this from the source. Anytime you wear a red hat now, everyone's immediately like, when the election was last happening, and I was walking through the casino, and it was maybe like the week of, so maybe it was Monday, because we film on Mondays, and it was a Monday. And I was wearing this hat, and I had my headphones on, and I just kept getting fist bumps. Thought nothing of it. Like, I get to the door over here, and I go to scan. He goes, "What do you think about tomorrow?" I go, "Huh?" He goes, "You think we got it tomorrow?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, the election." I go, "Hey, bro, this is a Dipset hat. It's way different."
Yeah.
It's way different. But I could understand the confusion.
Trump stole the swag.
Yeah.
But it was made popular long before then.
Right.
And I mean, it's crazy how American it really is. Like the main logo is very patriotic.
All my friends and I, now that you're saying patriotic, all my
Yeah.
friends and I are talking about how, like, the World Cup is this summer. And we used to do this thing where we would all meet up. So, like, in Astoria, my hometown, right? I lived on 80th Street, and the streets would go down, 79, 78th. So I had a friend of mine that also lived on the same block as me. And then on 78th Street, there was another friend. And then on 76, 74, 72nd. And we would all meet up at, like, the corner and then, like, kind of pseudo march to go all the way to the bars. And we'd have, like, our American flags. We're playing the Hulk Hogan theme song way before we knew all the crazy shit that went down with him. And, Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen and shit. And then we'd go to the bar and we'd be decked out in red, white, and blue for the World Cup. Now all my friends are like, "Yo, is everybody gonna think we're crazy racists just marching down the streets during the World Cup and shit?"
No, you could get away with it the way you do. It's Dipset. You just have to be Dipset head to toe, and that's very American.
Yeah. Shout out to the diplomats.
Instead of Polo sponsoring the United States Olympic team and all their outfits that they wear, it should really be Dipset.
There's a funny meme that goes around every 4th of July in New York. It's super popular in New York. It's like the Dipset anthem, but it's like, "This is my national anthem." So it always goes around.
It'd be crazy. You could take over.
Yeah, it'd be fire. All right, George, we're finally gonna do it, bro. Pause. We're finally gonna do it.
Yeah, man. Wow. Way to approach that. Yeah. Hey, guys, we're going to do a fun video. The video that we've been talking about for 3 years is finally coming to life. We are going to be going head to head, but also, that was super positive. We're going to.
Yeah. Gotta know your audience. We got both of the engineers in there to look over.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
From the top. You could start. All right? In 3, 2, 1, action.
That was even crazy too. Hey, bro, be better. All right. We're doing the combine video. All right. I'm gonna kick some field goals. We're running 40s. We're bench pressing. We're doing all that shit. I've been talking mad shit about being an athlete. You saw Dave Portnoy run recently. He's been getting cooked. I don't look like that. All right. I'm definitely a stud. He's
athlete. An old man.
Yeah.
He's like, I hope you don't look like him.
He's almost 50. But yeah, we're gonna have that. We're gonna start vlogging. We're doing a vlog. We're gonna try to do like 2 a month. do some stuff outside the studio to help elevate the brand. In regards to the podcast, you guys will be getting the podcast once a week. Probably going to be getting it on either Wednesday or Thursday. We're trying to shift the days around. A lot more evergreen content, a lot more interviews with people. So if there's someone you guys want us to maybe reach out to get on the show, I feel like the Rolodex is pretty substantial and we could get a couple people on. So let us know in the comments on the videos or on Instagram. Let us know who you guys would want us to sit down and chop it up with. So we're running 3 cone drills, 40s, bench pressing, the whole 9. I'm going to throw a bunch of routes. George's going to run some routes. We're going to have coaches there and shit.
I'm also going to be throwing routes.
The lefty.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nick, this is just as much for me as it is for you.
Hell yeah, bro.
Okay? And I definitely am looking forward to just putting on a performance worthy of possibly an XFL call. You never know. I mean, the metrics are there. The schedule is really open. I'm looking for an excuse to drop everything I'm doing right now, including this show, for a chance to play football again. That's how hard I'm going on Monday when we film this. But we also are doing this, Nick, where the main goal is just to try to beat the worst combine scores for each one of the events. So you ready to hear what we have to beat?
So full transparency, I was never fast. All right. We set an over-under of, what was it, 6.2? 6.1. 6.1, my 40 time. At my absolute apex, when I was like 18, I ran a fucking, what was it, 4.9, 4.97. I was never fast, bro. I was always a bit.
Hand time or laser?
It was hand time.
Hand time. We're going to be on laser. This is...
So we're setting the 40 time to 6.1.
So Isaiah Thompson ran the worst 40-yard dash at 6.06.
Whoa.
So 6.1 would be worse than him.
Damn.
Yeah. Got to be quick.
Yeah.
I am definitely not worried about the 40-yard dash.
When's the last time you sprinted? You've seen that statistic that goes around, like people over the age of, I think it's like 25. No, I think it's 30. Over the age of 30, it's like 98% of people don't sprint.
That's I mean, it's very valid.
That feels pretty accurate, bro.
I mean, you know that machine, that treadmill machine where it only operates based off of you moving?
You moving, yeah.
I did that maybe 3 months ago. And you go.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe. All I got to do is just be fast, though. And like it's all about maximizing it. We're gonna stretch. We're gonna be appropriately ready for this, and then I think we got what? I'm not gonna want to do more than 3 attempts.
I'm doing 1, bro. I ain't running more than 1 time. 1 time.
Okay, no more than 2 attempts on any of these.
Okay.
All right, just to keep it fair. Okay, the next thing, worst bench press, 1.
225. I could definitely get 1. I'm going to get 1 up.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not a big weights guy, bro. And like from the look of me, you could tell that too, right? Like,
hey, you're a quarterback, dude.
Listen, I'm a 1978's white pocket passer, baby. All right, that's where we're going to light it up. I'm like Matthew Stafford. It's 4th and 1, no one in front of me. I'm still going to try to dial it up downfield. I'm not going to pick it up.
You're going to ace the Wonder Lick.
Yeah.
But you're going to run.
Bro, that's what we should do also.
We're not going to take the Wonder.
We got to take the Wonder Lick
How
exam.
fucking boring. How do you make that cool for a video? Hey, look, guys, we took a test.
Yeah, we can make it cool, bro, on like a simple answer that we won't know the answer to. Like, it would be, I think it'd be great. I think we should do one. Maybe not for this video, but like the Wonder Lick exam.
What questions are even on there?
I don't know, bro. Actually, you know what? Let me pull that up as we do that.
Just pull up one question and I'll go on to the next thing, and then we could see if it's even worth our time. I hate school, and I don't want to take a test. Stephon Wheeler, worst broad jump ever, 74 inches. So that's about a human's length, about 6 feet. 6 feet 2 inches. That one I'm a little worried about. That one's kind of athletic. So that's the worst broad jump that we got to beat. Worst shuttle is a 5.56.
These questions. All right. So the Wonderlic exam, right? It's 50 questions in 12 minutes. That is like and it's supposed to test, the purpose is like cognitive ability, processing information under pressure, right? That's why like the quarterback is such a like big fucking thing, right?
Right.
An example of a question. What's 48 divided by 6?
8.
Yeah.
There. On to the next.
On to the next. Okay.
That's about the average that you would need to do
Yeah.
in order to get the 50. 2 to 3 seconds.
Gertrude. Talk about an ugly fucking name.
Damn.
Gertrude is taller than Janelle. Nancy is taller than Gertrude. Who is the tallest?
Gertrude.
No, bro.
Well, bro, I don't have the questions in front of me. You're reading off
I
these
just
riddles.
said Gertrude is taller than Janelle. Nancy is taller than Gertrude. Who's the tallest? It's Nancy, bro.
Okay, then you should have said it. I don't know why you're not saying it. You're gonna read the question.
We're so
and
dumb.
You're gonna put, no, well, you have it in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, now I do want to take the test. Since,
Yeah. No,
you
we're
know,
gonna definitely take this test. What is the
gonna see.
13th letter of the alphabet?
Are you telling? Okay.
I don't know. I had to do that.
If I was to guess, I would say L. A B C D E F G H I J K L
Oh, that was 12.
M.
I would have been way off. I would have said like H or some shit, bro.
Fucking M. Middle.
Whoa, yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Shit. Okay.
Oh, dude.
We
I
gotta
haven't laughed
beat.
that
Okay,
hard
so
in
the worst
long.
Wonderlic score was actually Maurice Claiborne. He got 4.
Yo, 4 is
He had 12 minutes and he got 4.
Oh, man. Bro, one time I didn't study for a test, and I just did A, B, D, C the whole way down.
Still get better.
I got like a 28 out of 100, and my teacher pulled me to the side and was like, it was a chemistry test too, so you know I failed. I ever told you the chemistry story with my teacher?
No.
So, shout out Miss Malone, great girl. She was my chemistry teacher my junior year, and you know how like your junior year transcript or report cards, whatever the fuck it was like what the colleges looked at?
Right.
Bro, when I tell you in chemistry, I deserved a minus like 20. I was fucking awful. I was getting 12. I got an 8 on a test. Bro, I couldn't do it. When people say trust the science, I don't know the science. I was shot. I was cooked. So it's like January, and I was being recruited by a couple schools. And I was like, hey, I can't have a fucking 55 was failing in New York City. So basically an F. I was like, yo, I can't have a 55 on my test, on my transcript. I was like, yo, what can I do for a 65? And she's like, listen, I know you're really bad at this. It's evident. we have 4 months of evidence. She's like, I need you to not miss my class. Mind you, it was first period, 8 a.m. or like 8:15, whatever the fuck it was. Shout out to Bryan High School. She was like, yo, you can't miss any of my classes. And every Tuesday we had lab. And like you couldn't miss lab. And she's like, you got to do tutoring once a week. And she's like, I'll give you a 65. I did all that shit. I was failing the tests and all that. She ends up giving me an 80.
Wow.
Way more deserving than I deserved, bro. I seen her like a decade after I graduated. I told her this story. She completely had no idea that she did that. I was like, yo, listen, it's been like 10 years. Statutes of limitations are over. It's like, we're good. We're safe. I was like, I also do a podcast now, and I've mentioned this story a bunch of times. So shout out to Miss Malone for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a basic teacher principle.
Yeah.
They showed up, which, by the way, in Vegas, this is how bad school systems are put in place. You couldn't fail. When I was a teacher, kids could not fail.
Yeah.
Like a 50% was the worst you can do. So like you couldn't even get a fucking 25%, a 10% if that's even what you really deserved. And you were allowed to redo any assignment or any test as many times as you'd want. Broken.
That's why they're like 46 out of 50.
No, bro, we're 49. We're 49. And if Arkansas didn't exist,
Dead last.
we would have been dead last for a long time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, good times, bro.
Yeah.
Good times. Shout out to New York City Public Schools, by the way, PSAL. Yeah, so we're gonna do all these things. We'll try to make the Wonderlic exam hilarious also. Yeah, I mean, bro, some of these questions are too fucking.
Yeah, no,
fucking
enough
good.
studying. Enough studying.
Yeah. My bad. I'm
you're
cheating. I'm
fucking
cheating.
You're
I'm
cheating.
cheating.
Who
All
studies for the Wonderlic?
Yeah,
Fernando Mendoza.
Who does that?
That's
yeah.
what it is.
All right. Let's stay with football quick before we move on to some NBA. Puka Nacua is projected he's entering the final year of his rookie deal, right? Which, like, pound for pound, one of the best contracts in the NFL, arguably maybe of all time, or at least recent memory, right? He's a 5th-round pick. He's due for an extension, and the Rams have already come out and said, like, yo, we got to reward this guy. We got to make him the highest. They're not gonna. He's gonna become the highest paid wide receiver. JSN is kind of in a similar situation too. Like, his contract is eligible to be extended as well. So right now, he has a base salary of $5.8 million. The highest paid wide receivers, George, in the NFL. Jamar Chase, 40. Justin Jefferson, 35. CeeDee Lamb, 34. DK Metcalf, 33. 32.5 for Garrett Wilson. Okay. He's going to make more than Jamar Chase. 1, he deserves it. 2, he's the next guy up. Like, no matter what happens, the next guy up is going to set the new market. Is it worth paying a wide receiver that kind of money, in your opinion, in today's game?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they're that guy, you know, and there's only, we talk about it, 10 of them in the NFL a season where they're game changers. They're worth points. It's worth it. And here's why I'll also say it's worth it. There's nothing worse, Nick, than knowing nobody on your offense is going to give you excitement on a Sunday as a football fan. And with these guys, you lock it in. You're going to sell jerseys. You're going to get season tickets sold. So it's 100% worth it in the grand scheme of like how an NFL team operates as a business. Operationally, he better be a expensive receiver that isn't a fucking basket case. And I don't think you get that with Puka. As a matter of fact, I think Puka, dare I say, is the toughest receiver in the league. Maybe next to Amon-Ra St. Brown as far as physicality, feisty, you know, yards after catch, they're lowering their shoulder, not stepping out of bounds type of guys. I think the Rams will never lose him, dare I say. Why would you? In what world would it make sense to not make him, you know, the most valuable player on your team? Because Stafford will be gone soon, and he will be the top contract. But I think he has the type of character that warrants it. Not everybody who is paid that amount of money carries themselves like a true leader of the team.
I agree with you, man. He's been the epitome of consistent in the NFL. Comes out the gates 105 for 1486 and 6 touchdowns. Then in 2024, he only played 11 games. He caught 79 passes for 990 yards. Basically, he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver, and he's not a 1,000-yard wide receiver traditionally. He's my version of a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Remember, one of my favorite comments of all time is 1 additional game means 500 yards. Because I was like, yo, bro, you need to get like 1,500 for me to be impressed. And look, he's gotten 1,486, and he got 1,715 this year. And let's remember, he didn't play in one game, which was big, right? So he left early in like the first quarter against the Ravens when he got hurt, and then he missed the following week with the ankle injury. So this is a guy who is like very consistent. My hesitation is if you look at the NFL and the highest paid guys in the league, it's been a very long time since a top 5 wide receiver, salary-wise, has won a Super Bowl. I feel like if you're New England, for example, they found their quarterback, protect him, and go after theirs. Seattle could do that. They found their quarterback, they protected him, and they could get after the other team's quarterback.
Yep.
That's really the recipe. It's why I'm so optimistic about the Giants. I'm so optimistic about teams like the Chargers if they could just fucking wake up come January. But that's the recipe that you got, right? You look at all these teams, that's the recipe. Look at what Philly did not too long ago. Fucking last year. They could get after the passer. They had the best offensive line, and then they had a quarterback. So when you pay that position, it don't always translate to wins when it really matters. Let's look at the 3 teams in the last like handful of years that have paid 2 receivers $20+ million. Miami with Waddle and Hill. Dumpster fire.
Really bad.
And we're not blaming them. Like, get your money if you can. I'm saying if I'm structuring a team, I don't know if I'm doing that. You got the Bengals with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase this year. You know, Burrow got hurt. But also, like, the more I was looking at it, because it's never too early to look at next season odds, couldn't really put the blame on Joe Flacco and the backups because the offenses were, you know, they lost 2 games in which they scored 35+ points. It was the defense that was the issue. And then you had Philadelphia with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
So you make this market for Puka. You said it. He deserves the money. Also, not for nothing, bro. We talk about this all the time, like fucking around, but we're being serious. Like, shit, if I told you he's not playing by the age of 30, would you be surprised with the fucking... Bro, he goes to the blue tent every other game, and there's about 3-4 hits a game where you're like, oh, he's done. I had him on my fantasy team this year, and I bet him for Offensive Player of the Year, and I was like, oh, my God, he's done.
I mean, bro, think about it. It's happening now with Stafford.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when it's a quarterback that actually, like, puts you in even more danger? I'm worried for it because he's such a gamer. He's gonna make any type of play happen. I'm just saying, not saying Stafford doesn't throw into tight windows. Some could be considered hospital balls, you know, but they're winning plays. God, I just would hate to see his career end on the backs of whoever's going to take over that organization next. You're going to have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens added to that list, and not too long. I think it's eventually going to hit, though. I actually got this question asked to me by Crumbs in the Discord, where I had said that the traditional defense wins championships model is starting to die, and we're in an offensive world now, and the past 3 Super Bowl champions have been top 3 in defense, if not the best defense in the league. But I'm still going to stand on this solely because we haven't, I guess, seen those defenses tested at like a maximum level. Like a lot of the competition that those defenses face in the Super Bowl, you know, the offense has been hindered in some way, shape, or form. And I think I would love to see a Super Bowl in which you get the Rams, which if we would have saw that this year, what would you have said about the Rams team? You wouldn't say, oh, this defense was really fucking good, which they were. But you would have been like, this was one of the most prolific offenses we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. So just wait until, you know, the recency bias leaves you a little bit. In about 2 months, what's the only thing we're going to talk about, Nick? Offense.
Offense, yeah.
And that's the only thing that people give a fuck about. And defenses do matter. But at the end of the day, as long as you have a defense that has a really good front four, like you're mentioning, you know, you're going to be a competitive football team. It's basic.
Yeah, look, they have the 9th most cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Their only big cap hit is Stafford and Devontae Adams. And then Jackson, the left tackle. Those guys are over $20 million. And then after that, you got a lot of guys in single digits.
You got a lot of young cats on there too that you got to spread the sugar to.
You're gonna need to. You're gonna need to make. Yeah. You're gonna definitely need to keep a couple guys like Kitchens,
Yep.
Kinchins, I should say.
Young, Byron Young.
Byron Young is up there. Yeah, he's eligible. He's a
First.
free agent next year. So, yeah, I mean, right now their top priorities. Well, Havenstein, he just announced that he's retiring, but
Right.
Tyler Higbee is another one. But then you look at Higbee, he's 33, 34. You had Allen, you had Ferguson who stepped in, and
They're in need. I think
Parkinson.
they're gonna draft one this year.
another tight end. No, I don't think so. I think if you're the Rams, you probably get your hands on another offensive lineman. Because you got, Parkinson's was a
People
baller.
in the stable.
Allen, Ferguson. Higbee missed the majority of the year, and then he came in and, he scored a touchdown in the playoffs too. But I just think that they're in position to give him the extension. Because also, like, they're kind of, I don't want to say they're in a win now, but, like, Stafford could probably do this again next year. Because his game is not, it
Correct.
ain't going to be 40-plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
But, like, bro, his game, he's a pure pocket passer. Like, as long as he could stay healthy, he's not running and shit. Like, I worry about guys like Lamar Jackson, Jackson Dart, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts even. It's like, the wear and tear. Josh Allen, too. I think Josh Allen now, he's 30. Mahomes is coming off of ACL. I was looking at the odds for the Chiefs. They're 20-1. I was like, why the fuck are they 20? I was like, oh, Mahomes might miss a month.
I don't think it's gonna be that much.
I mean, dude, he got
really-
hurt in December, bro.
I get you. He's my early MVP pick for next year.
He does check a lot of boxes.
You want to hear the road games that they have in 26?
Sure.
And this is what excites me because it just shouts primetime Mahomes going on the road, taking down, slaying the Giants. On the road, they're going to have the Bengals, the Bills, the Rams, and the Seahawks. 3-1 in those. And then at home, they got the 49ers and the Pats. And Bieniemy is back, which is huge, bro. Bieniemy and him, I mean, that's your 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs already. We're reigniting the old flame that we once had. I really like Patrick Mahomes. He's 11-1 MVP. And you already know, nobody gives a shit. If he didn't play, he could literally not play the first 6 weeks, go on a tear the second half of the season, and everyone would still vote him MVP. Such a political award. So I think that, given that road, there's a real chance that Chiefs Kingdom, is rejuvenated and sanity is restored amongst Kansas City. So their path is unique.
Yeah.
Still a tough schedule, but Andy Reid doesn't have back-to-back bad years.
That's true. That is very true, yeah. Yeah. And then we also talked about it, how, like, they were undefeated in one-score games the year before, and then this year none of the games really went their way. So that is also something to consider. What else was I going to bring up?
I have a way too early offensive player of the year.
Let's hold off on the actually go ahead, tell me.
Chris Olave.
Olave. Ooh.
With Tyler Shuck in the lineup, let me list off the stat lines. 5 catches, 104 yards, a touchdown. 9 catches, 70 yards, no touchdowns. 6 catches, 85 yards, a touchdown. 10 catches, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. 8 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown. And as you can see, the numbers continue to increase, but he's also on a contract year.
I like contract year.
Contract year.
Contract year is nice. Yeah.
He is going to be the premier weapon. They had a good chemistry. They finished on a high note. Chris Olave is my offensive player of the year. As of right now. It's not official.
Yeah.
But just early research, I really like this lean.
Yeah, it's just something to keep an eye on. I think these markets are really interesting, bro. Like you should definitely consider them from now. Like, we've been pretty accurate in the last 2 seasons. We've given out MVPs and offensive players of the year in March. Like, free agency is in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's never too early for that. There was a post on Action Network that said people were showing tickets that they made bets the day after the Super Bowl last year for New England and Seattle to get there too, you know? So it's never too early to break that down. Speaking of which, let's do that real quick. Way too early Super Bowl predictions. I didn't want to do it on the last episode. I kind of wanted to give all the attention to the Seahawks and the Pats. Who's the favorite in your opinion? Who would you say is the favorite?
The favorite, in my opinion, is the Rams after the announcement of Stafford coming back. Just because that the team is going to mature so much more on defense, and they were able to keep the core together coaching-wise. And so I think that's helpful. The one big thing that they know they need to fix is special teams, and I know they're going to address it. So they're a team that I think is just way better than the Seahawks, and they got on the wrong night. And I think 8 times out of 10 that the Rams would have won that playoff game, and it just didn't go their way that night. And I think that they're the front runners for the NFC. And I think for the AFC, I mean, I had hinted at the Chiefs. My secondary team, I think the Ravens could do something big. I think Harbaugh kind of restricted the control that Lamar had over the team. And I think now whoever, or, with their new coach stepping in, who they got? Munkin, right? Just want to make sure on that.
No,
they had
it's the dude from the Chargers. Why am I blanking at the defensive coordinator? Jesse Minter.
Jesse Minter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Monken went to Cleveland.
Correct.
Yeah.
Defensive-minded coach, leave the offense to thrive underneath that leader. And, yeah, he's just another one that Lamar Jackson has the ability to change games, and I think that they're a legitimate contender. Zay Flowers had a really good year, even though, optics-wise, a lot of big misplays. Still is a player that's growing in maturity. He's still super young, and I think now we're going to see that final evolution, and that team should feel a little more rounded out. What about you?
So a couple of things jumped out to me when I was looking at this market. And to me, I think it's very telling when you look at certain teams' odds right away that the sports books are expecting regression for teams that you would think probably should be favorites. Example, the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears had one of the most magical seasons in one-score games, and in particular, I think they set the NFL record for most fourth-quarter comebacks, or like the most like double-digit deficits in the fourth. It was something like significant and historic, right? They're at 30-1 to win the Super Bowl next year. I think the books are telling us regression. I think I kind of like Detroit at 15-1. Everyone's off Detroit now. I was off Detroit this year coming in, spot on how I broke them down, losing the 2 coordinators. But again, it's trusting Jared Goff when it matters. But I think now is a good time to buy low on a team that the last 3 years everyone was dick riding and expecting to win the Super Bowl. So those stood out to me, and it's in the same division, right? So a couple of other odds that jumped out. Man, this is the year for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. It really is. It really is. It's going to be year 3 of Harbaugh. You can't possibly have the same injury luck in the negative with the offensive line being how bad it was. Got to get a receiver. Need another real receiver. Ladd McConkey's cool. Gatson, I think, is a revelation at tight end. I like it. Defensively, they're going to be solid. They don't really have any big pieces that they need to re-sign. They do lose the coordinator, Minter, which is going to be big because now, like we said, he's the coach for the Ravens. But, man, a couple episodes ago when we were talking about how one of the fans, shout out to them, they said that I've picked 3 of the last 4 MVPs, gave out the way too early. Like, I like Justin Herbert to win MVP this upcoming season. If I'm picking, like, a favorite, right, Mike McDaniel going there, I think that's the best move any team has made from a coaching standpoint because we saw what he did with Tua. And then even this year, the thing that was really crazy about Miami, they played hard for him, bro. Like, they didn't quit on him, right? So I think this is the year for Justin Herbert. It kind of has to be because this guy, he gets a lot of passes, a lot of excuses. Oh, it was Brandon Staley. Oh, he got no receivers. Oh, the defense sucks. Oh, the offensive line. It's like, bro, now you got this got to be the year, right? So the Chargers stood out to me. Staying in the division, talk about an MVP candidate. What about Bo Nix? With that chip on his shoulder, like, these motherfuckers, man. If I don't get hurt on that fucking play at the end, dude, we win that game against New England. Because Sean Payton's calling a different game. There's a couple plays that he would make even in that weather. I know he's not a warm weather guy, a cold weather guy, but I think they're interesting at 20-1. Remember, he's on a rookie contract too, so they can maybe continue to add pieces or pay other guys to keep him, right? And then home team, 80-1.
It's interesting. You
New
didn't
York
mention,
Giants.
your Giants. They're going to be fun, super exciting. They're a part of the offensive revelation that I feel is going to infiltrate the NFL this next year. Just because the maturity of the young cats that we're seeing in the league now that are legitimate superstars and have proven themselves in early years. Yeah, like it goes into the conversation that we had after the Super Bowl where you had mentioned that Arabia was talking about new coaches, new quarterbacks. I mean, it's going to be really interesting here once everybody is starting to balance out as far as experience level. What about the Jacksonville Jaguars at 22-1? I mean, they were there to the very end. And dare I say that they didn't figure out their offensive scheme until after they got Jacoby Myers. And that's when, they beat the Chiefs early on in the year, and we made a big deal out of that, a way bigger deal than we should have. But they were still a tough out. Josh Allen had to play his goddamn ass off to get past him. And that's one that I think that they shouldn't lay their heads on too much. Liam Cohen has got him humming.
Hey, man, I think if you look at the totality of the schedule, they might have had the most impressive wins. Remember when they beat the Chiefs? I love this call on the Jaguars. They stood out to me, too. Look, they're going to get Travis Hunter back, too. Right when Travis Hunter figured it out, bam, he got hurt. Now, if you're Jacksonville, do you tell them, hey, bro, Parker Washington emerged, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, we fucking paid him the moment he got there, a week later. Liam Cohen, year 2. They didn't really win a lot of games by one score. Like, dude, they were beating the shit out of people. Right? 35-6, 25-3, 36-19, 48-20, 34-20, 41-7. It's not like they're not a team that I would worry about by one score games. So even if it does regress, it's like, yo, they're dominating teams. And I think you're right, bro. I think they would be one of the fan bases that's probably pissed. Remember we did that last episode?
Yep.
Like, what fan bases? I don't remember if I mentioned the Jaguars, but that would be a team where I'd feel a type of way if I was a Jaguars fan. So I like that call, dude. I think they might have been the best team in the AFC. They went into Denver, beat the shit out of Denver when Denver was playing for something.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're another interesting one at 20-1. Is there anyone in this, like, Bears to Bucks range, right? So you got Bears, Bengals, Cowboys, Colts, Commanders, Falcons, Bucks, Vikings.
Yeah.
Like, I wish Atlanta I knew what they were going to do at quarterback. Because they're expected to release Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Penix got hurt in the season. Is he going to be healthy and ready to go? I like Stefanski going there, bro. I really do. I think he could be a coach of the year candidate again. New team. Doesn't need to worry about crazy weather. I know they got the domestic violence issue with James Pierce, which, fuck, man, how's Atlanta feeling? Like, this dude gets 10.5 sacks. They traded their first-round pick this year to the Rams for him, and now he got a DV case. You're like, oh, my God. It's always some shit going on in Atlanta. What do they do with Kyle Pitts? But they got a lot of pieces there. So if you had to pick a team from that bunch there, who would you pick?
Cowboys. I'm ready for the Cowboys to be good. I'm honestly over the whole, man, the Cowboys. Everybody always gets hyped up. All these Cowboys fans saying we're going to go to the Super Bowl, but that shit ain't happened since the fucking 90s. I'm kind of over it. I want to see it because I think that this team is fun as fuck to watch. They were, offensive juggernaut last year, and I think year 2 was shoddy. They're going to shore up the defense a lot better than the patchwork that they did at the trade deadline to be a better run stop team. I mean, they were the most laughable defense for the first half of the football season last year. Dak Prescott, though, he's another one that falls into that MVP category where I'm like, yeah, this dude's got it built in right now. You got 2 of the top 15. You had 2 receivers get over 1,000 yards. I think one of the only teams to have this had happened this past season. So they're my choice. They're my choice.
You haven't learned nothing all this time, have you?
What? What are you going to hit me with?
Bro, the Cowboys, like, how do you have any faith in them? Defensively, they're ass. I don't think they keep Pickens. They can franchise tag him for $29 million. He strikes me as someone that wants to get paid, and I don't blame him whatsoever. Yo, you know what's a fucking banger team for him to go to? Buffalo. Get him a real receiver.
Yeah. Thank God they're building the new stadium.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I mean, yeah, I know he played in Pittsburgh.
I think
guy.
George Pickens to the right team can have a similar impact that
He's
Devontae
on the
Adams
right
had.
team.
That's true.
He's 100% on the right team.
You know what? That's a 10-8. I don't have a response to that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Especially as a number 2 receiver, he is
He's
best.
considered a number 2 receiver. He had a better year than CeeDee Lamb.
Right, but the main focal point, if you're going in to defend the Cowboys and you're a coordinator, it's CeeDee Lamb you want to take away. Let's not get crazy. Look, CeeDee Lamb got a little banged up. That's also another reason why George Pickens was going
Correct.
crazy. And I also think another reason why George Pickens was going crazy was because CeeDee Lamb is opposite of him.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is still a top 5 wide receiver in the league.
I get it. This is kind of why I love this team. Because even if you do run into injury troubles at the end of the year, bro, like that is worth a lot. Like shutting an entire half of the field down just because you have a guy that can wreck a game. Shit, damn, I'll go back to it. It's worth the money. It's definitely worth the money. And just take a playbook out of the Eagles and just don't pay everybody until, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just keep kicking it down the road.
Yeah, those fucking guys manipulate it.
Just keep kicking in those contracts down the road.
The Saints did that first with Drew Brees, you were telling me.
Yeah. And then we did it with Alvin Kamara. Cam Jordan also fell into that list.
So what is it? You feel confident enough to explain what it is that the Eagles are doing with manipulating the contracts?
No, I don't feel like uber confident in it, but I do know just briefly that they give them a good signing bonus up front, and then they pay them, a reduced salary for the first 3 to 4 years, and it picks up and ramps up at the end when they could get rid of their contracts. And they pray to God that player is really good. The other team would swallow the contract, and they can rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Howie Roseman does a great job, and you were very close. But just to add more context and details, they manipulate the salary cap to be competitive now and pay for that shit on the back end, right? So it's kind of similar to when, hear me out because it might not make sense initially, but you remember a couple years ago in baseball when like Robinson Cano signed a fucking like a $380 million, whatever it was, right? But like a lot of players were 29, 30, 31, and they'd sign like a 10-year, $500 million contract. And you're like, well, you're really paying all that for the first 4 years when he's still going to be in his prime. That year 7, 8, 9, 10, you're going to be like, oh my God, Cano for $70 million? Like, it's a little bit similar to that, where they restructure contracts to make it like a base salary. And shout out to Isaiah in the control room. He was telling us how, like, when you see a graphic that's like Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and AJ Brown, they're only making $40 million this year. But then you're like, yo, Jalen Hurts just signed the contract, 55 per. Yeah, but he's going to get it on the back end. So they're like, this is a win now fucking strategy. But then in 2028, 2029, when they got to pay all this shit, they're kicking the contracts down the road, and they're like, we'll deal with it later. Right now, we kind of feel like the landscape of the NFL and how we're built in the NFC, we can make noise. And this is why they get a Jalen Phillips. And you're like, how the fuck they get? You know, a Kevin Byard a couple years ago. They trade for an AJ Brown. And like, this is how they're able to manipulate the system. And they're like, yo, listen, if we're winning 12, 13 games a year, like whatever, we'll figure it out when the time comes. And that's what they're doing. That's what the Saints were doing with Drew Brees. It's like, yo, I'm only going to be $25 million against the cap this year. But when I'm 39 and I got a noodle arm, I need the 47.
Yeah.
So just to add more context to that.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was like
sense.
this was Drew Brees' way of like kind of being loved, like how Tom Brady would get loved, like, oh, he's taking less for the team. Except I don't think Tom ever did get more. Like, I think he was just base salary. I don't know. I know nothing about that, but Drew Brees made the most of it. We paid that motherfucker a lot.
Well, they were another team.
He owns
too.
a lot of Jimmy Johns in Louisiana.
Yeah, bro. Tom Brady used to be like the 16th most. I vividly remember Ryan Tannehill was making more than him per year. This is when they were both in the AFC East, right? And it kind of tells you everything you needed to know about Brady. He was really a win first team guy. It also, we need to explain that when he was married to Giselle, she was the highest paid supermodel in the world, and she was really the breadwinner getter in the house.
Yeah.
So, like, that also helps when your wife is bringing in 50 M's. So, shout out to Giselle. Brady was always like, I'm 14. I think the highest I think when he got to Tampa was the first time he, like, got a check.
Yeah.
And even then, he was like...
The most he ever made in one season was $39 million.
And when was it? When he was with the Bucks?
When he was 44 years old in 2021.
That's what I'm saying. Like, his whole career, he was like, yo, I'll take a $20 million pay cut, but I need Randy Moss. We're going to lose these 3 defensive all-pros? Nah, I'll take a pay cut. Can we re-sign them? All right, cool, bet. Let's do it. Oh, shit, we're going to get Darrelle Revis for a year? Okay, awesome. Let's do it. So that's what Brady was doing. And then the Patriots, too. Like, the Patriots would be like, oh, he's only making $17 million. And then you'd be like, oh, he just got his $40 million signing bonus. You're like, yo, some Kawhi Leonard shit. Like Kawhi Leonard making all this money down the road. So, yeah. Let us know who you guys got to win the Super Bowl from now, right? It's never too early. George, Patreon. I got some numbers for you.
I love numbers.
For the 2025 season,
yes.
I finished 56% against the spread.
Amazing.
Anytime touchdown in the regular season, plus 4 units.
Plus?
Yeah. Anytime in the playoffs, even.
Love it.
And there's another year where I hit no anytime touchdown parlay. But profitable. And when it comes to futures, we hit...
forgot to also mention 3 first-time touchdown scores on Thursday Night Football. We're never doing that again, by the way. Ever.
Come on, it was fun.
I'm never making graphics for it.
It was fun.
No, it was not fun. Every week, minus another $25. You know how fucking depressing it is to put a picture of your face on a graphic and then type in minus $400 in red font? Extremely depressing. I did that. That's why towards the end of the year, bro, I was like, we're done with this.
Yeah, if you guys notice why the graphics
idea.
were not popping up, you just got your explanation.
We're done with this. We're done with this. It's not a good look for the brand. I thought at first, because it's like people lovable loser. It turns out once you hit about 14, it's like, oh, you're just a loser.
Yeah, bro, it would have been bad if I didn't hit any. Because then it would have been like, these guys are minus 350 each.
I would have kept making the graphics had you not hit any, but I think it was irritating me that I was seeing
My number was in green and yours was in red.
it was still in green, bro. It was still in green. Oh, terrible. Okay. Great numbers, though. 56%.
Yeah. We hit Matthew Stafford for MVP, 45-1. We hit, where was the other one that we hit? Division bets, the Jaguars plus 300, Bears plus 625. Almost had Rams, Bills preseason bet as the Super Bowl. Had the Rams at 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. Some awful calls, and in my notes I said there's no way he doesn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and it was Ashton Genty. That one was rough. And then we missed on Travis Hunter being both offensive and defensive players, rookies of the year.
Big miss. Big miss.
Patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. It would mean a lot to us, especially with some of the travels that we're going to be doing and the vlogs that we're going to be shooting. If you guys could help support the show, remember, just $1 a month. You're still going to be getting some UFC plays, some soccer plays, and, you know, whenever we are betting some futures, like in the NBA, which we're about to discuss right now, you'll get them all on there. So patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. Thank you all for the support throughout the year. And like I said on that last episode at the end, how I'm getting to live a fucking pretty cool and dope life doing the thing that I love to do. And a lot of it is from, sorry, not a lot of it, all of it is from the people that listen to the show. So patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. George, let's pivot into some NBA. Can I just give you a rant a little bit about the NBA?
I like the way that you said that in my head because it sounded like Durant, but you said Durant. I love the Houston Rockets this year. I'm excited to talk basketball. Go on your Durant.
Okay. So I don't know how many people are following the Utah Jazz, but they made a big trade and they got Jaren Jackson Jr. In a trade from Memphis the other night. And obviously I lost a bet. This is another reason why I'm also aware of this situation. They are openly tanking from now. They sat Markkanen and him the entire fourth quarter. Just were like, yo, just sit. No problem. It's gotten so bad that, like, there's about 8 teams that are openly tanking right now. Usually in the past, they'd start around April. It's become so unwatchable in the regular season unless you're backing a team. Like, I've been really fucking with the Pistons. Shout out to my boy Josh DeCorda. He's been on the show in the past. He's a big Pistons fan. He was talking me into Cade Cunningham to win MVP. And then when we asked CJ Watson on the show, he was like, yo, kind of Cade could be interesting. Because I said Paolo. Mm-hmm. He was like, yo, I would look at Cade. And, you know, they're only 1 game back of the Thunder for the best record in the league.
Yeah.
And Cade just had like 29, 9, and 7. Like, he's fucking balling out. So I say all that because the issue with the NBA is if you don't care about something, why should the consumer? Why should you listen to our show if we recorded once a month? And like, yeah, we posted 3 clips a month. And like we could get the episode at some point this week. Like no structure, no identity, no scheduling, not coming prepared, right? Like, yeah, sure, every now and then I'll throw George a wrinkle or you'll throw me a wrinkle. Like, we didn't plan about talking about the Wonderlic test and we were laughing our ass before.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the improv is dope. That's what makes the show the vibe that it is. But if you don't care about your product, why should I? LeBron and Luka, rest. Fucking, you know, like Joel Embiid, minutes restriction. Jokic coming back, minutes restriction. I understand you're coming back from injury, but you're devaluing your consumer when you do that. You're becoming very greedy. And there's always a cycle in sports. Like baseball was big in the 80s and in the 90s. Then it was the NBA in the 90s. And then the early 2000s was NBA still. And then in the 2010s, it became football. And football now is like the juggernaut. And the NBA, they're doing it to themselves. They've gotten so greedy with all the TV deals. You can get games on Amazon, Peacock,
Oh, bro.
Netflix, fucking ESPN. Like, it's just, you're honestly better off getting cable again.
No, for real.
Everybody was
Yeah.
cutting the cord to save money, but now for you to watch fucking anything, you need to have the app. So it's like, bro, I'm spending, dude. I've been pretty cheap this year so far, right? Like I haven't really been spending too much money, and I was just looking at all the shit. I'm like, bro, I got like 9 streaming services. I canceled Netflix because I'm like, I'm watching the Mr. McMahon documentary again in The Last Dance for the 27th time. It's like, there ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? And I feel like the NBA, they're in such a weird position because they're doing it to themselves. Like these players are making more and more money than ever before, which is fucking phenomenal. But they're playing less. Like, dude, you got to think about it like, we've talked about this so often, right? $39,000 a year is the average salary in the United States. Imagine you go to take your kid to a game and you're like, yo, bro, you're going to, I'm not going to even say the Garden, because when the Garden was, when they were winning 14 games a year, it was still like $400 to get into, touch the banners.
Yeah.
Willis Reed in the 1971 championship, wherever the fuck it was. But it's like, yo, bro, imagine you and the missus have a kid and you're in Phoenix. And you're like, hey, my son is 7 or my daughter is 7 and they love Devin Booker. And you pay $800 for tickets. You pay the parking fee, which is probably $50. You're going to buy her a popcorn and a jersey. So you spend about $200-$300 in the state. You're well over a G now.
Yeah.
You get there, you're excited. Devin Booker rest. How do you feel?
I mean, terrible. The shitty thing about this, Nick, is it's been the conversation,
But they're doing nothing to improve it.
But they don't need to. And hear me out, because everybody knows, at least in the average sports fan, right? Super Bowl ends, we have no football, don't have to worry about it. Now we move on to the next thing, which is not the NBA, March Madness. March Madness comes, it ends in April. Then what do we care about? Basketball. For the average layman sports fan that's going to be following it. And I think the NBA is just comfortable paying the rent. And I think, they're selling out clearly. Nick, I haven't had to sweat out a game on the ESPN app refreshing in 6 years. And I had to do it 2 nights ago when I'm trying to watch the Lakers and they're on Peacock, and I wasn't going to do it. So they've sold out to the point where they know they're just paying the rent by putting on 82 games in the year. They understand that the final 15 to 20 really matter the most. And now, like you said, the teams that are tanking, I mean, it's crazy. I'm glad you brought it up, but you got the Bucks, the Nets, the Pacers, and the Wizards, all 17 and a half games or more behind. And then you got the Jazz, the Pelicans, and the Kings, and you toss in the Mavericks in there, all 22 games or more behind. Like, there's zero excitement, and the thing is, like, you can't bet on them. I wonder how much action these games receive on a nightly basis. Like, what do you think a Jazz versus Pacers game gets action-wise?
Not much. And the other thing, it's why it's my least favorite thing to bet on is NBA regular season. Mm-hmm. But it's my favorite in the playoffs.
100%. Me too.
In the playoffs, it is the best. Why? Hey, man, you're playing 46 minutes. This minute restriction shit, we're not doing it. And again, if you've been listening to the show, we rant about this all the time, but it's true because nothing changes. Like, nothing changes. And in the regular season, it's, we're going to sit you in the fourth quarter because you're coming back from injury. Or we're going to sit you because it's 3 games and 4 nights, even though they don't have a bunch of those. I think every team has like 1 or 2 throughout the season that happens. But it's annoying, bro. And I just feel like they don't do a good job by the fan. And when you alienate your fans, that's a bad thing. You play with fire.
Yeah. I mean, but we're going to watch when it matters most. And they're going to dominate that period of time. And like I said, I literally just think it's the mindset of like, this is the way it's been. Unfortunately, we have to just keep operating and understanding that nobody gives a flying fuck about us until about Christmas. And then they won't care about us again until April. Like it's nuts. I guess there is slight ways you can manipulate the market. Like if you really are on top of the injuries, maybe you could find some value on betting props, but even then, you got to stay away, in my opinion. Well, I mean, I know we're shifting into the NBA. Do you want to give a update on our NBA futures?
Yes.
That you put in?
Yes.
Who did you bet on at the beginning of the year? I completely forgot.
So remember, coming into the year, it was the Knicks got to win the East with all the injuries and the way we were perceiving the East to look coming into the year. And I still feel good about that. So they were my pick to win the East. You know, they were plus 900 to win the finals. I still like that too. I think when push comes to shove and it's the playoffs, I think they'll be the team representing the East. My preseason NBA MVP picks were Paolo Banchero. That looks fucking awful. Cade Cunningham looks good. It's third favorite right now. And then Wemby. Amen Thompson was my defensive player of the year. And then I also put a long shot on the Mavericks to win the West. That was me projecting Cooper Flag to do what he's doing now. He's been balling out, man. And then Knipple on the Hornets is the reason why the Hornets are playing so well, too. Shout out to the Duke Crackers for balling out this year so far. But as I'm looking at it now, there's one thing that jumps out to me, and I will never understand why people continue to believe in this guy. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the favorites to win the East. And I don't fucking understand why. Because they got James Harden, who is a notorious disappearer in a big spot. I've said this time and time again. He shoots tour dates. 4 of 17, 5 of 22. Absolutely abysmal in game 6s and 7s in his career. For a guy that is of the status of him. And you just know he's going to disappear in a big spot again, bro. You know why? Because we have a 15-year sample size of him in a big spot. He just don't show up. And he don't deliver. So I don't get it why they're favorites to win the East. 7 of 22 in a game 6. 5 of 15 in a game 6. 9 of 19 in a game 7. 7 of 20 in a game 7. 2 of 11 in a game 5. Sorry, that's a game 5. 2 of 11, 8 of 25, 8 of 21, 7 of 22. Like, bro, this is who he is. 12 of 29. And what? Because he plays with Donovan Mitchell. Look at the guys that he's played. Bro, one of my favorite, my personal favorite take, like top 3, the James Harden divorce analogy that I've always given. This is his 5th team in 8 years. If I told you I got married and divorced 5 times in 8 years, at one point would you be like, "Yo, come here, let me talk to you for a second"? It ain't Courtney. It ain't Courtney and Diana's fault, bro. You're a fucking loser and a piece of shit. Maybe you need to get it together. It's not Stephanie's fault. It's you, because the common denominator in all these relationships is you, and that's the thing with him. Coaches get fired. He gets special treatment. He got his friends come to the games on helicopters and fucking planes and shit. And he's played with Chris Paul, Durant, Kyrie, Durant again, playing with Kawhi. You're playing at home. And it's like, bro, like how many times we got to see it? And now you get Donovan Mitchell, who he's balling, but you're getting Donovan Mitchell and now we're supposed to believe in you? I just don't get it. That one really frustrated me when I saw that. Yeah. Like, to me, like, I think Detroit should be the favorite in the East, even above the Knicks.
Tough team, man.
Detroit is one game from the best record in the league. Cade Cunningham, if you look at offensively and defensively and what he means to this team, he should be the MVP. I'm hoping he's the MVP. That'd be a sick-ass call for the show also. Right now, SGA is minus 200. Jokic is plus 300. But Jokic misses 2 more games. He's ineligible. Remember, it's a 65 number that you got to hit. So I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I really don't understand it.
I'm with you on the Pistons. There was somebody on our NBA preview show before the season that said the Pistons. You're looking at them.
Good call, brother.
Pistons to face the Rockets in the finals. I put that in as a parlay at the beginning of the year. It was 159-1. Now it's 55-1. And I think that this Rockets team's impressed me in ways that we at the beginning of the season said the one thing that we're going to have to figure out is how long it takes them to establish who the alpha is and, how to distribute the ball between KD and Şengün. They figured it out quick. And the best part of that team, and it's going to super pause on this, their length. Their length on the court looks different. When they have their starting 5 out there, I mean, it's unreal. Every single one of those people can guard on any sort of screen rotations, and I am so excited that I had chosen the Rockets. And then with the Pistons, bro, after watching what the Pistons did to the Knicks last year in the playoffs, I was like, oh, this team's ready. This team is 100% ready. They flubbed, and you can't do that, especially in a big-time moment in MSG. But I think this is the year. And you had mentioned Cade, and I liked that they had a really scary enforcer. And I think that kind of allows us to talk about, bro, the fight that they got into with the Hornets. They've fully embraced that we're the bad boys of the East. And that's why I fuck with this Pistons team. Do you wish the New York team had that type of energy?
I think they just got a guy that could do that, Alvarado. I've always fucked with Alvarado. He's a New York kid playing on the Knicks. He just had a career night. Just dropped 25. I think he had like 8 threes in the game against the 76ers tonight at the time of recording. So he's a little like, he's a guy that could be the Knicks version of TJ McConnell, right? Comes off the bench, especially at home. You're like, this motherfucker's on the court. He's annoying.
Gets 12 minutes.
Gets 12 minutes, but it's a hard 12 minutes. He'll get the steal off the inbound where he's hiding behind the center, and then he creeps in. And he's a guy that when the Pelicans made the playoffs a couple of years ago, he was going toe-to-toe with Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Like, the moment isn't too much for him. And, like, yo, that's a guy, I mean, he's also he's Hispanic, big Latino community in New York. He's a New Yorker. Like, he's a guy that, bro, if he could win a game in the playoff, they'll build a statue for him, like that. So with this fight though, Isaiah Stewart is known for like being like probably the guy you don't want to fuck with in the NBA.
Yeah.
But that brawl, it was interesting because as it was happening, I ended up tuning into the game after it happened, and then I'm watching the highlights of it, and the Hornets are a pretty fun team too, bro. They got some dudes like Brandon Miller, LaMelo, Canupel, which I mentioned also. Bridges, I thought he earned some people's respect in that. Like, he actually stepped to Isaiah Stewart. But it does feel like the NBA, a lot of times, it's a lot of hold me back culture.
Oh, bro.
Like, you look tough. And
it was a lot of I know like what people care about. And if you are ever in a fighting situation and there's lots of cameras, all you got to do is just try to just fight the people's hands next to you
that are holding you back.
And that'll make you look like this dude was really angry.
Yeah.
But you get held back at the very end. He got close a couple of times on like after they got broken up and they came back in. Not Miles Bridges, but the initial two, which I wanted to find the name. I forgot what the dude's name was. Musa, right? Musa Diabate.
Diabate, yes.
Yeah, he was the one that was the Mr. Hold Me Back.
So how crazy is it that Isaiah Stewart got suspended longer than Ben Wallace with the Malice at the Palace? Wallace got 6 games. He got 7.
I think it's because he wasn't like on the roster for that game, right? Or on the
He
line.
wasn't. He came off the bench.
Right.
That's what it was. Like he wasn't on the floor. Like you're not supposed to leave your bench.
Got it. But he was playing that night.
I think he might have sat.
Because it's like they appear on, like you have to submit your lineup. And so I think that might have been it. Like if he wasn't on the active roster, like maybe it's a little worse. I think it's also, what is this?
No. Stewart had played that night. I just
Okay.
confirmed it. Yeah, he had played.
Well, bro, he's a repeat offender.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing
He's a
too.
repeat offender.
By the way, also, I've never gotten into, like, I'm not someone that gets into fights. Even before I knew how to train and fight, I was always very like, someone bumps into me, yo, my bad, bro. Right? Yo, you're a pussy. Thanks, man. Like, I really avoid conflict
Right.
at all costs, especially now. In the event you're about to fight, the worst thing you could do is hold me back and have my arms under control. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to your friends.
Because it makes them look like a bitch.
No, I'm saying
No?
like, bro, if I'm about to fight someone
Right?
and I'm charging them
Correct?
and you bear hug me to hold me back, my arms are down here. My chin is exposed.
I get you.
They could come over the top. They could hit you. So it's like, bro, don't do that. I've seen people get flatlined because they're going to attack someone. They get held back. Now they're exposed. Bam, knocked out. So don't hold them back. Let them go. And also the cool thing, shouts to Cam, he was talking about it on the show yesterday. Some of the people I be hanging out with in Vegas, they know how to fight. So I'm usually the guy that's like, dude, you are making a terrible mistake. And then when someone's drunk, that's the last thing they want to hear. Like, what are you going to do, pussy? I'm like, all right, you asked for this. Arm
You're gonna
bars
tee off.
snapping, elbows and shit. But yo, seriously, like, if you were to get into a fight with someone, I might do the like hand on your chest. Hey man, we're cool. Like, don't, but I'm not going to bear hug you and have your arms covered. Like, I'm being serious. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And if you get into a fight,
me personally, you got to use your words. Like if that doesn't slow somebody down, they just got to duke it out. I think more people just got to let them duke it out. Let's stop holding these guys back.
yeah, it's
the hockey style, right? But I think these NBA guys, I think it would be honestly really beneficial for the NBA. You want people to start buying fucking Peacock subscriptions? Let me see Isaiah Stewart and Draymond Green on a Wednesday night.
yeah, just duking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I feel like, I don't know if it's because I know the dangers of it. I don't know if I would want people to just be. Now, I think you should slap the shit out of a fan if they talk crazy to you with no repercussions.
Right.
I've told you, like, Malice at the Palace is one of my favorite events of all time. I think fans, when they buy a ticket to an event, there is a built-in waiver on the ticket that says, hey, man, if you're going to say the thing that you should never say to an athlete or to a black player, a slur, they should have the ability to knock your teeth in. And you can't say, like, you hit me, I sue you. Like, the DK Metcalf fan?
Yeah, bro.
He's getting sued like $100 million. He wants $100 million. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, well, nah, you can't go around saying that shit. Like, your actions have consequences. And how I'm going to react to your actions should not determine my consequences. Like, you can't just talk slick to people. You can't do that shit. So I worry about, like, you could be a model citizen, perfect citizen, and then, you drink one night, you get into a scuffle, you knock someone out, they hit their head on the side of the curb, they die, manslaughter. Your life is over, right? So it's like, well, the other side of me that's like, yo, sometimes people need to be slapped because you can't be doing shit like that, And I know we kind of went all over the place, but to bring it back with the players holding back. What was his name? Diate?
Bro, it was one of those. Oh, Musa Diabate.
Diabate. Like they were holding him back, and it's like,
Musa.
yo, bro, like I wouldn't want you to hold me back.
No.
I would rather you be like, yo, listen, if we're out and a fight breaks out, like this is what I tell my friends back home. I'm like, yo, just because me and my friend Josh, who does Muay Thai, the Pistons fan, ironically enough, I'm like, yo, just because we know how to fight, don't mean we're going to be your bodyguards if you guys do some dumb shit. If you're out and you get into a fight with a kid, I'm sitting there with my beer, I'm chilling. Now, if other people start jumping in on, that's a different, now I'm going to do. But like, bro, you getting your ass whooped, I'm going to be like, hey, man, he won it tonight. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start beating up on him. If his friends start jumping in, like, yeah, cool, but I ain't doing all that. You can't act like an asshole just because, you know, you got people around you that know how to fight. Like, nah, bro, we're not fighting your battles.
Yeah.
You know, there was a girl I used to talk to that put the fear of God into my heart because she was one of the most ratchet women I've ever been around in my life. Greek girl, too. She would talk crazy to people. And I was like, yo, I can't date you because I'm scared.
Yeah, like you're going to put me in a shit
I was
spot.
like, you're going to put me in a situation where I'm going to have to defend your honor. And I don't want to defend your honor when you're being a fucking piece of shit. I'll defend your honor if people are heckling you and it's disrespectful and it's unwarranted. But, bro, I've had friends that date girls that, like, be popping off to other girls and then the boyfriend gets involved. Like, you dumb bitch. And you're like, oh, my God, bro, I just want to watch. I got $20 on this game. I just want to chill.
That shit's crazy to me. I think it's honestly an East Coast thing. I think West Coast girls, you get way less of that. Like, I think there's certain pockets, but like I feel like every chick on the East Coast is just naturally imprinted, like low-key, like alpha. Because you have to be. You can't just walk around New York and not know how to protect yourself. So maybe it's not all East Coast women, New York women.
Yeah, there's a couple of dangerous people.
You're having flashbacks right now.
Yeah, bro, that girl, that was the closest I ever got to getting hit by a woman.
She threw the punch, but you dodged.
No. But like I remember I went to Miami, and I went to Miami with my group of friends, right? And then she picked me up from the airport, and we were kind of like messing around, you know. I was a fruitcake. We didn't put no title on shit, and you know how girls are sometimes, like, what are we? And all that. I was like, what, 22, 23? My friends that see this clip know exactly who I'm talking about. But we go to Miami, come back, she picks me up from the airport, takes me home, everything's great, everything's smooth sailing. We go to my house, we're watching a movie. Halfway through the movie, she's like, so what'd you do in Miami? And you know, I'm a troll, I'm a dick. I'm like, hey, if I tell you I didn't hook up with anyone, you're not going to believe me. If I tell you I did hook up with someone, you're going to be mad. I was like, I don't like being in lose-lose situations. And she, like, put a fist together. And I was like, this bitch is going to fuck me up in my crib, and my friends are just going to roast me for the rest of my life. And she, she just went like that to the wall and, like, knocked over the frame and shit. She didn't hit me, but, like, the frame came down. And my parents are upstairs because I was living in my parents' basement at the time.
Oh, shit.
And she just got up and left. And I remember saying to myself, like, yo, this girl was going to fuck me up in my own crib.
Yeah.
I was afraid, bro. And then I told her, I was like, we can't be together. You're dangerous.
Oh, wow.
Her name was Stacy, and I'm leaving it in.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been through it, man. I've had some funny stories. I got to start sharing them more because I told Jory and Isaiah some shit sometimes, and people they're like, yo, I can't believe that shit.
It's not fun. I mean, but what you already know, like anything I tell you, I'm going to say no, and I didn't sleep with anybody.
Yeah.
That's what you should have just done.
She wouldn't have believed it anyway.
Did you sleep with somebody?
I did not, no.
Okay.
This is
because
when
there's no
like,
labels attached to it.
Yeah, there's no labels.
I'm
and
going
like,
out there.
I believed it anyway, bro. So, yeah. Can I give you one more NBA thing?
Yeah.
All right.
And I have 2 bets that I have to hit before we end this.
Okay. Just to put a bow on this conversation, even though we went all over the place, I think a very intriguing future for me that I like. And there's just something about this team that I trust. And it's Minnesota. I like that they have a guy that thinks he's the man. And this is a team that's been to the conference finals in back-to-back years. And one prop that I'm looking at, it's 65-1. It's Minnesota versus the Knicks to be in the finals. Anthony Edwards, he comes alive. Remember we were calling him the Legend Slayer last year because he was knocking off like LeBron. It was LeBron and Luka. And then, he ran into SGA, which has been his kryptonite. But, man, there's just something about that team. I think they play well together. Last year they made that trade with DiVincenzo and Randall right before the season started for Anthony Towns. And it helped both teams. I think both teams would make that trade again. However, it took a while for them to get acclimated. And, they still got Naz Reid. And they're a team that's just been playoff tested. So that number just jumped out to me. And then I'm still rocking with the Knicks because for all the Jalen Brunson slander and him not being an MVP candidate as well, everybody's better than Brunson until it's time to be better than Brunson. And come playoff time, like that dude locks in. And the Garden is a hard place to play in, so I still like the Knicks to win the East. I'm not buying into Cleveland. Yeah, Tatum might come back. That might be interesting. But I still don't think Boston is as good as people think. And not for nothing, the Knicks were up 3-1 on Boston. And
when they were healthy.
When they were healthy. So, and like I said, Cleveland, no. Who knows what the 76ers are going to look like. So that's the only one for me that I like that I think is interesting.
The 2 bets that I am going to place now as futures for the end of this year, just because I know how much this number will change. So we're talking about extreme value here in 2 props. Western Conference Finals MVPs. If you like the Lakers and you think that Luka and LeBron could figure it out, you could get Luka at 28-1 to win Western Conference Finals MVP. If you think the Spurs, this is the year that the young team emerges, Wemby's at 10-1 to win Western Conference Final MVP. So those are the 2 that I'm going to place now in lieu of this. I mean, Houston and Detroit to be the finals at 55-1 right now. Halfway there, baby. We're halfway there, and I'm really liking where both these teams are, so I'm staying with that. That's it. Anything else for NBA? Because then I have my golf thing.
What's your golf thing? Uh-oh.
They're playing at Pebble Beach this week.
Hell yeah, brother.
And I got the Pebble Beach Kangle. You ready for this?
Yeah. I'm going to bet this too.
Justin Rose will be the top European this weekend at Pebble Beach. They're playing. It's going to be beautiful conditions. He won this title in 2023. He tied for 11th in 24, and then he tied for 3rd last year. He's coming off of a win 2 weeks ago at the Farmers Insurance Open, and I like him to be the top European at plus 650. It's a pretty stacked lineup for the Europeans. You got last year's winner, the people that fucking clowned my ass for his name, Rory McIlroy. He won it last year. He's in the European category. He's the favorite to win from the Europeans, but I really have liked the way that Justin Rose, the 45-year-old, has been playing. I'm going to ride the hot hand. Not saying that he's going to win the event, but I like him to be the top European player at plus 650.
Where do you find this?
Nationalities or region.
Because I see tournament winner.
Yeah. Scroll, look
USA.
for region or nationality.
Oh, top European. Right?
Yep.
What do we say his name was?
Justin Rose.
Plus 800.
Perfect. Even better.
I'm in.
Even better.
I got a bonus bet. Hey, now. Yo, I'm in.
Perfect. Justin Rose this weekend, Pebble Beach, to be the top European.
I'm in. I bet this. I'm not pussy, bro.
He's locked in.
We're locked in.
Do it.
Stay locked in with us. At Veterans Minimum is where you can find everything for the show. Thank you all for listening. Shout out to Justin Rose. Shout out to Liam Rose. And shout out to all of you.
Get it done.
Peace.
Later.
Element. I'm a gold medalist, bronze like your medal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course, be the venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be killed.